Okay, now let's go on to the last part. We talk about the chemical effect. Okay, current producing a chemical effect. Okay, what can this chemical effect do? Okay, actually we know this thing called electrolysis. Okay, current can actually do this thing called electrolysis. It's actually using electric current to decompose a compound. Okay, electro stands for electricity, lysis stands for decomposing, or you can think of it as splitting. Okay, splitting, decomposing or splitting. So what happened is that this is a very standard setup for electrolysis. Power supply. We have our ammeter here to measure the current. We have electrodes and we have our electrolytes. So electrolyte is actually a liquid or solution, okay, which can conduct electricity. Okay. The other one is the electrodes. What are they? They are electrical contact which allow current to leave or enter the electrolytes. So these are your electrodes. Okay. Then current flows. You talk about conventional current flowing positive. Okay, then it'll flow through the solution. Then it'll come back through the negative. Okay, so this is how the setup for electrolysis works. What's the purpose, or what can we do with electrolysis? First one, we can actually do electroplating. Okay, I believe many of you have heard of this thing called gold plating. Okay, or even silver plating. So how does it work? For example, okay, I got a key here. I want to make it gold. Okay, maybe the key is only made of iron, but I want to make it shiny. I want to already have a layer of gold. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put some gold here. Then I can do some electrolysis, and the key can actually be covered with a layer of gold. Okay, sometimes we can use copper. Copper gives it a bit of a brownish bronze feel, or maybe pinkish color. Okay, so the metallic object after doing electrolysis is covered with a thin layer of another metal. In this case, it depends on what metal you have over here. Okay, what are some of the purposes? We can think of it as a decorative purpose to make it shiny and attractive. Or the other way is actually by electroplating, you can actually prevent the substance from rusting. Right? Prevent the substance from rusting. So, for example, iron is very prone to rusting, so we can coat it with a layer of copper. Right? So this is one of the uses of electrolysis. Another uses is this. We can use electrolysis to extract reactive metal. So for example, aluminium that we use very commonly is actually quite a reactive metal. So how do the people in industries get the aluminium? Alright, this one we are doing extracting aluminium. Okay, so the current is passed through. These are the electrodes here. Electrodes. Then there's another lining of electrodes over here. Okay, so what happens? The current is passed through the solution here, and it actually breaks down. Okay, it's actually in this this is the electrolyte. Okay, it's actually aluminium oxide. Aluminium oxide stands for aluminium and oxygen combined together. So obviously, if I want aluminium, I must separate the aluminium and the oxygen. And how are we doing it? We are using electrolysis. So by doing the electrolysis, what I'm going to have is, can you see this part over here? This is actually your aluminium collecting at the bottom. So by passing the current through, I'm splitting the aluminium and the oxygen up to give me my pure aluminium metal at the bottom. And then from there, I can collect my aluminium to make it into our aluminium foils, aluminium trays, and things like this. So this is one of the this is why we tend to use electricity for chemical effects, okay, especially this thing here called electrolysis. So just to take note, we have gone through all three effects of current. First is we talk about heating. Okay, we talk about heating. We talk about magnetic. And the last one we talk about chemical effect.